up for our group. It's free, and I strongly recommend that you sign up to be, a part of our group, so that you would be able to get the information that you are looking for. It's very important that you sign up in our group so that you could you get the information that you're looking for. And I'll give you the information. It's the WhatsApp, my WhatsApp number. My WhatsApp number is 954 840 4829. That's the number. And you have another number again that you could call, and this one is the one that you should more send to WhatsApp. It's 954 380 4829. 954 380 4829. Text me on WhatsApp. Send me your name and information, and then we will send you a link to join the group, because that is the only place we put information on scholarships. We don't come on the Zoom live and share, schools and information on in terms of direct schools. In that group, if you register in that group, then you would be given information. So, for instance, a coach may call and say, "Coach Roy, I need a number 4, I need a number 5," and we would, send the information inside of that group, and you would be able to put your videos together and be able to send it to us. We have a number of kids throughout the Caribbean region who's on the feed, and they are part of the group too. They are sending their videos. We are sending the videos out to the colleges and schools. Once again, there is no cost to what we are doing in sending your information out to schools and universities. I know there are people charging for it. I cannot attest to it because, I can only speak for our group. Our group is a free service. We are really trying to motivate, to encourage, to inspire. We are trying to be the bridge between, where you are and where you're trying to go. And I would like to also to just to piggyback on what our guest, Ms. Guerrera, spoke about. If you have offers on the table from other schools, it is critical, it's important that you let us know that you have some offers on the table. We would still send it to schools, but what we will do, though, we will mention to the coaches, you have offers on the table. It makes it even better for you. But please don't tell us that you have offers on the table and you don't have offers on the table. But it's critical you let us know, because coaches sometimes make adjustments to their budgets, to their roster, based on, the kids that they see. And if they see a kid that they really want, they would make adjustments and make it happen. So we don't want a situation where you don't mention it to us and a coach makes that adjustment, and when he's ready for you, you go somewhere else. It's not really good for the other kids who are trying to get you at schools. And there's something that is very critical that I need to mention to you too. Please know, or please note, when you are heading out to a scholarship, your name is attached to that. Your community is attached to that. Your family is attached to that. Your country is attached to that. You are representing all these different areas. And when you go to a school, we would really like the coach, as some of the kids we send out to school, the coach called back and say, "Coach Roy, I need you to send me a couple players just like that player you sent me." This is the report we're trying to get from schools. So it's not that you go out there and you don't focus. You gotta balance your books. Mrs. Gore spoke about it yesterday. You gotta balance your books on soccer. You can't just go there and play soccer alone. It's just not gonna happen. And you cannot just go there and focus on your books alone too. It's just not gonna happen. You have an agreement. You need to read the agreement properly. Examine it. If there's something in the agreement with the school you don't understand, then reach out to me, reach out to others. so they can clarify. Reach out to the coach. Coach, there's some information here, and I'm trying to really interpret it properly so I can really get the full drift of it. And you need to be able to understand the agreement that you sign on to. As Ms. Guerrero mentioned, kids leaving and not understanding that the scholarship has no insurance, outside of the soccer play, outside the soccer season. The particular amount of meals, your meal plan from a school might end up being 2 meals per day, might end up being 1 meal per day. You're thinking you're going to get 3 meals per day. There's a number of things, and as I said before, there's a number of things that we are working on. We're working on to really help, to really be a part of it. And we really do need you to have, the full support of your parents and your guardians involved in this process. It's all well and good that you want to come to the United States and study and play soccer. And we have people here too from the United States that I am helping to get into colleges and universities. And, the fun and the excitement of coming to the US to play soccer, it's all good. But it's not a bed of roses, guys. And this is why we're bringing back some of these guests, so you can have, face-to-face conversation with them. I would like you to picture where you grew up in a particular country or a particular island, and you leave and go, thousands of miles away to another country, and you're in a school where you don't know anyone other than the coach that you have spoken to a number of times. I want you to picture yourself in that. How do you balance that? Where you're in a school, 5,000-6,000 people, and they're from different parts of the world. You don't know anyone. Some of them speaking different languages. How do you fit in that environment? One of the things we are looking at is to bring some psychologists on the set. We are also looking at, before we send you out on a scholarship, for you to do, a couple hours counseling from some psychologists that I know went out to school out here in the US, so they can speak to you. They can have conversations with you, about what you are going into. Some of you has, never left home for more than a month, but now you're leaving for 4 years. How do you make that transition from one place to the other? These are the things you really got to study. If your parents is supporting you, with what you're going to need, some sort of stipend from your parents to help you, because you might not be going. Everyone wouldn't be able to get you to go Florida, where the climate is much like Trinidad or the Caribbean. You may go into a state where you have the different 4 seasons, and with those 4 seasons, you have to get gloves, you have to get hats, you got to get jackets for certain part of the year. How would you be able to function there if you don't have these things? These are things you really need to think about when preparing to go to school, and having conversations with your parents, pertaining to school. And if you in the financial institutions that we're going to bring on the set pretty soon, they would be also able to explain to you, how you go about getting loans to go to school. And one thing I would ask you to do, though, don't just go for the loans to pay for your your books and that kind of stuff. Ask them to take a additional amount of finances in your loans if you're taking on a loan, to be able to compensate for jackets, and to have some sort of stipend or petty cash on you to be able to function. Because one of the things I find myself doing is helping a lot of kids. There's a lot of kids we have out here, they call and they find themselves in some serious situation, and I find myself sending finances to try and help them. You just can't leave them there. And one of the things that I do when I help kids, I don't get you into school and just leave you at that school. I make contact with you, and I would like to have that communication with you, so we could continue communicating. How is the school going? How you making that transition? Some people don't do that at all. They receive the money from you, and that's it. You on your own. You're in a school, and when you run into issues, you cannot really speak to these people because you already paid them for your service, for their service. So all these things you got to be mindful of. All these things is, is pertinent information. Do your investigation on the school. You know, the state the school is, the community that surrounds the school. Do some investigation in those things to find out exactly where the school is. Where's the closest Walmart? Where's the closest grocery? Where's the closest shopping center? You know, I would need a cell phone. You know, is my cell phone unlocked? Can I use the same phone in Trinidad and just use the SIM card? You know, who has the cheapest phone service in that area? You know, really investigate that school and that area itself and gather the information. Don't reach there and then you're saying, okay, oh, I don't have a phone. I need to go and buy a phone, and I don't have this, and I need to go. You got to do that. And then some schools too, if you get you with you know, a particular scholarship in the domes that you're staying, some of them have heating system, but they don't have air conditioned system. You know, all these things too, you got to ask questions about. You know, there might be a heating system for the cold, and that is required, but some of them don't have air conditioning in them. So when that time comes around, and that time of the year, and that sun is really hot, you got to use fans in those rooms. Those are things that you know, people who are helping you with scholarships don't speak to you about. You know, that side of the coin, which is critical. That side of the coin is that side of the coin is critical. Those information that you need to get before you leave. You cannot leave where you are. If you're in Africa, if you're in Europe, and I know a lot of them are logged on here and I can see it, you know, get that information. Ask the coach for information about, you know, the surrounding of the school. You know, speak to the coach about those things. Get information. Some schools too allow you to, if you're getting a partial scholarship, some schools allow you to work in the school. Some schools allow you to work in the school. I have a particular coach that I work with right now, and certain times of the year, he offers like 2 or 3 months in the year employment in the school. Remember, the school is functional. Huh? So they have the cafeteria, there's different areas. And he, you know, part of his scholarship, he offers you a certain amount of work to help you pay for the school. So all these things you need to really educate yourself on, gather the information. Don't just grab this paperwork and run to the embassy, you know, to get your visa and get your plane ticket and just leave. And then you end up in a situation that you didn't plan for. You know, you end up in a wilderness, and that is what I call it. It's a wilderness when you're in a place and you know, you don't know where to turn, what to do. You know, if you are in your home country, you know, and if you're far away, but you're in your home country, you can always catch a car or call your parents and you get back home. But when you're in a faraway country, the help doesn't come that easy and that fast. So ask the questions, you know, and gather the rightful information that you need so that you could make a wise choice in what you're doing. And you know, go on to do great things with your life, because this is what the 411 group is about. It's about encouraging, it's about motivating, it's about helping, it's about serving. Look, we realize there's an issue out there, and we are trying to be part of the solution. This is basically what it is. You know, and I would give you some advice. You know, people pay you to solve problems. That is why people hire you in companies. They don't hire you because they feel like hiring you. If you look at everyone that is employed, they are there to solve problems. That's basically what it is. Even the schools, when the schools bring you in, they bring you in to solve some issues for them. And they are working a deal hand in hand with you. We help you with your schooling. You play soccer, represent the school. We win championships. It's a deal. That is how life is, guys. It's a hand in hand, you know, agreement. You are here to help us win collegiate championships, and we are here to help you with your degree. So it's a deal, you know, and you have to keep your part of the bargain. They will keep their part of the bargain. And, you know, you go on to be successful, and we open up doors for people. You know, I wouldn't want to get into a number of other things. Like one of the things I do too, I help, you know, kids also with contracts. So you may want to, if you play in college soccer and you finish off your college soccer and you want to move into pro, I have a team that I work with that is helping kids out in Europe and academies in different parts of the world. So we do that kind of stuff. But we want to encourage you to get your education. It is critical, guys. I cannot say it enough. You got to have something to fall back on. It is critical that you have something, a skill, your education to fall back on after your soccer career is finished. Or even if you go to a club, you don't know what could transpire and you don't have anything to fall back on. You got to have some sort of skill, to fall back on. And let's be real, it's not all, I want to be a doctor or a lawyer. These things are good. But, people who are in the field of trade, they are just being scooped up every which way. Every which way they are being scooped up, people in the different fields. So these are things you want to do. And as I said before, join the group that we have. Text me, 954-380-4829. Text me, Coach Anthony, and we will add you to the group, and we post information there. We are on different media platforms now. We are expanding in different platforms. We are this feed and all is going on Facebook. We have a wide audience on Facebook. We have coaches of colleges and universities that I was just replying to on Facebook that they are log on. They are looking for kids, and to get into their program. Because one of the things you got to understand too with coaches, they're there to solve problems in the school. One of the problems they're there to solve is to win trophies for the school. And they want the best kids, not just soccer, but in the academics. Let me repeat that information because I'm seeing, questions are being asked. The number is 954-380-4829. And I'm Coach Anthony Roy. I coach full-time in the United States. I'm here, and I've been here many, many years. I network with a number of guys that I played through the Alvin Cornell Coaching School with. I played with several national youth teams back in Trinidad, and a number of different clubs back in Trinidad I played with. And I am here just trying to serve. Basically, this is what this is about. This is about serving. This is about helping people. This is about touching lives. This is about going back where you came from and helping. There's a number of kids that we are helping that I've never met in my life. They're from different countries, different parts of the world they are from. And I am still here serving and helping them. Basically, this is what it is about. It's a call. It's a sort of, and it's not just me. We have our team. We have Miss Jeanne Bonio. We have Miss Nadia Lewis. We have Mr. Brewster on the team. We have Mr. Roger Griffith, and then we have Mr. Damian Cooper, who's joining us pretty soon. So it's a team. It's a team we have, and we are about service. That is basically what we are about: giving back, making a difference. We cannot continue to complain about the issues. We need to find solutions for the issues, and that is what we are doing. We welcome companies. I know there's a number of people from different companies are logging on here right now. There's a number of them because I know that they, word was sent that there are companies, conglomerates, corporate, as we say, good corporate citizens, logging on. Join with us, join with us, contact us. We want to chat with you. In terms of schools, I wouldn't go into information in terms of the number of schools because, to be honest with you, it'll take me whole day. There's thousands of schools in the US. And if I were to go and pull out my information in schools, it's just too much to number. And then the networking that I network to with other coaches, they have 6, 7 different schools that they are attached to. So it's a number of schools that we are in contact with, and you have to remember too, it's competition for schools, guys. It's competition. You gotta get your game in order. You gotta do your work. You gotta study your books. You gotta get the information. You got to do your SATs. You get your subjects, and this is something I don't like saying, but I will still say that I know a number of people don't like saying that there are some junior colleges you can get into without passes. I do not encourage that. I encourage kids to get your education. I encourage you to study, because if you are home in your home country, where you are known, where you know your way around, and you are not studying your books, how would you be able to go in another man's country and study your books? These are serious questions, guys. You just got to get your act together. You can't wait till you reach 18 and 19 and decide, look, I want to head to school. Yeah, at that age you could go NAIA schools. I think NAIA schools is up to what, 23 years old, 24, 22, somewhere around the NAIA schools. But what we're really trying to do is to inform and educate, bring the information home. Why? Because we really want to get kids when they're entering Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. These are the ages we are trying to get the information to the parents and the kids about schools abroad. So you would make wise decisions when Form 1, Form 2, you're not finding your way, but you will start getting into a certain as we call a certain groove. You will start getting into getting yourself together for school. You start practicing your SATs from Form 2. We have Miss Shanice Musgrave. She was our last speaker, and she was just wonderful. We're going to bring her back on the set because she was sharing pertinent information to us. And what was so wonderful about it is that we had, Shanice had people from in the United States here contacted her, and she's all the way in Trinidad, about SATs, and they sign up for SATs. And let me just put a plug here for Shanice. She's doing her SATs online. So you could be any part of the world and do SATs with Shanice Musgrave. You gotta join the group. If you join the group, that is where the information is. That is where we share information with you inside of that group about your SATs, like for instance, school, you need a science subject to. These are things need to be passed down to you. We really cannot give you all the information and all the Zoom chats, that might be pertinent to everything, but we're going to try and touch on certain things. But if you get into the group, that is where the information is shared with you on, from start to finish in schools, the supportive system that you get when you get into schools, in terms of information on which, financial institution that you can go to, because we have an agreement with them for you to be able to get loans. And we are looking at loans at a total different rate. That is what we are having some conversations about now. Some of these loans that you're getting is not at the normal rate because the school you're going to. So we're trying to get loans that you could get loans at a whole different, interest rate, which is much lower, palatable. Spread that payment out for you so that you could accomplish these goals. So as I said, there's a whole lot of information that I could share. And if you keep me here that long, trust me, I could carry a conversation with you right now for very, very long in terms of all these different things. But it was so nice to have you guys on today. Please share the information. We are in talks with a number of Caribbean countries right now in terms of their academies and some of their coaching schools in different Caribbean countries. We are in talks with them right now to be able to share information. We want you to share the information. Don't keep the Zoom to yourself. Share the codes that you use to get in the Zoom. They remain the same. It's not going to change. And I locked off all the microphones and cameras when you enter. So if your microphone is on when you enter, it's because you turn on your microphone. But we lock it off because it's not something that we want you to speak into, because it's going to take too much time. And you see how we get through all the questions when you type your questions in the question boxes. Yes. So you know, we are very happy to have you. And as I said, we're going to try and shift the program every now and again on a Saturday or on a Sunday. We're going to try to shift the programs in the evening time because of the coaches. And some of the coaches are saying to me, Anthony, I could come, but I need a Sunday because Saturday is there. You know, some of the coaches to coach in different academies over here too, and they coach different places. Some of them coach in universities and colleges, junior colleges, and some of them also coach in academies. They have premier teams, they have rec soccer, they have travel soccer. They are coaching in these places. So if they are coaching in these places, we have to really, to have them on the show, we have to make the adjustment so they can get on the show. And we are also going to bring you not just coaches, but we're going to bring you some different guests from different countries who played out in the United States. Some guys you may know who is way before your time, before you were even born, who in your parents' time, who represented, you know, a national team from a different country, who, you know, people in the financial sector, you know, advisors, administrators. We are really, you know, opening up the door so you could get the information. But I beg of you, don't keep the information to yourself. Share the information and get other people in the community on so they could get the information, so we can get kids out to colleges, universities, junior colleges, so we could get kids educated and, you know, better citizens. You could do great things with your life. You know, believe in yourself. This is what we're trying to do: encourage, inspire, educate, inform, you know, motivate. We are here for you, but we are here to assist you. And that is critical that I get that message on before I go. We are here to assist you. I want to say it again. We are here to assist you. There's a difference between assisting someone and helping someone. There's a lot of people, when you tell them you are helping them, that's it. They don't do anything at all. They sit back and let you do everything. When you assist someone, you got to work with us. There's things you need to do. You got to keep yourself fit. You got to study your books. You got to perform when you go to school. And some of these schools is a year-to-year arrangement. So if you think you have a scholarship for 4 years and you're not going to settle down, they're going to evaluate you after every year. They want to check your grades to make sure it's up there. You know, these are the kind of stuff you need to do. You need to be able to learn. Some of you guys need to be able to, and this may sound a bit funny, but to be able to prepare meals too, because you're not going to get 3 meals in some schools. You have areas or a hot plate to be able to cook your own food. You got to be able to take care of yourself. All these things you got to put into, going to school. It's not just entering a school in the United States, and also a lot of the kids who in United States too, who I'm working with, they go to another state which is much far away from their parents. They have to be able now to stand on their feet and to be able to study and go through the different tests and trials. And as we all know, there's bumps in the road. There's bumps and holes in the road when you're traveling to navigate through those different areas. And that is some of the things that we are working on to work with you. And then some situations, we leave you, let you navigate those areas, because it's going to grow you up. It's going to stable you. It's going to strengthen you when you go through some of these tests and trials and tribulations, when you're going forward. So once again, thank you so much for all the questions. Please, as I said, join the group. Once you contact me, I would send you the note for the group, 954-380-4829. And before I go, I must say, I would want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for making this possible. I make no bones or no qualms about it. This is not about me. This is about service, and this is about what the Lord is doing. I make no excuses for it. This is about him. This is about his work. This is about his service, and I'm proud to say it. That is the line I walk now. And we are just humble servants here trying to get it going. So we have, as I said before I go, we have some super guests coming up in our different programs. Look out for the dates on the program. The times is going to be remain somewhat the same, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, around there. And then you got to remember too that we on daylight saving time in the US. So when it's 5 o'clock in the Caribbean. Some areas it's 4 o'clock in the US. So we want to thank you so much for logging on. Thank you for being part of our 411 crew with us on these Zoom meetings that we continue to inform, inspire, educate, and make a good contribution to society in terms of developing the young people. Thanks again, and we are open to networking with schools, because I know there's a number of coaches here that I have never met before. We are open to networking with schools. We are open to networking with businesses. We are open to networking with organizations. We are open to networking with club teams, academies, national teams. I know I have some of the people here who are close to their national teams in their different countries. We are open to all these things, networking with people to create opportunities, for everyone. So thanks again for logging on. Thanks for being part of our guests, being our guests. And good strength, God's blessings, and blessings to you and your family. Please stay safe, and please wear your mask, and please protect yourself. God's willing, we will be back again soon. We will send out the information again on Facebook, all the social media pages. Please look for us on all the different social medias. The 411 Student Athlete Soccer Scholarship Group. We are on the different Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram. We are all on these different things. Join up. That is where the information comes through to you. And we thank you so much for being with us today and spending quality time with us. Have a wonderful weekend. And once again, be safe, and thank you so much for logging in.